Influence is often associated with powerful words, persuasive speeches, or commanding authority. But what if real influence doesn't require saying anything at all? The quiet power of Stoicism suggests that our actions, demeanor, and even our ability to remain calm in the face of adversity can speak volumes. In a world where noise and constant communication dominate, how can Stoicism teach us to influence others silently through our presence and composure? The essence of Stoic philosophy offers a profound reminder that sometimes the most impactful way to lead or inspire is through quiet strength. At the core of Stoicism is the idea that personal virtue and control over one's emotions are the foundation of a good life. The Stoic belief that we cannot control external events, only our responses, plays a significant role in how we influence the world around us. By embodying traits like patience, resilience, and self-discipline, Stoics believe that others naturally look to us as models of calm and integrity. Have you ever noticed how someone's steady presence can affect the energy of an entire room without them uttering a word? This is the kind of influence that Stoicism values, one that stems from inner strength rather than external persuasion. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, believed that leading by example was far more powerful than lecturing or convincing others through words. In their view, living in accordance with virtue exemplifying courage, justice, and wisdom can inspire others to follow suit without the need for rhetoric. As Epictetus once said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." This timeless advice invites us to ask ourselves, how might we influence those around us simply by embodying our values? What changes when we focus on being rather than telling? Before we start, please subscribe to the channel, and if you like this video, like it and write your opinion through comments. After this introduction, we go to the main topic and examine 8 methods in this case. The quiet strength of Stoicism. 8 ways it influences without words. Number 1. Calmness in adversity. In Stoic philosophy, calmness in adversity is seen as one of the highest virtues, representing inner strength and emotional stability. When faced with challenges or difficulties, a Stoic remains composed, understanding that external events are often beyond their control. This calmness stems from the Stoic belief that only our perceptions and reactions are within our power, not the circumstances themselves. From a psychological perspective, this approach is highly effective because it prevents us from becoming overwhelmed by stress and anxiety. Have you ever faced a situation where remaining calm changed the outcome for the better? Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus taught that adversity is not something to fear, but rather something to accept and learn from. For example, Epictetus emphasized that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This idea can help people cultivate mental resilience, allowing them to stay grounded even in the most trying situations. Think about moments in life when losing control made things worse. Wouldn't a calm and collected mindset have helped resolve the issue more effectively? From a modern psychological viewpoint, staying calm under pressure is also linked to better decision-making. When we react emotionally, we often make impulsive or irrational choices that we later regret. By practicing Stoic calmness, we can think more clearly and handle crises with wisdom rather than panic. In times of adversity, this approach allows us to face life's challenges with dignity and courage, much like the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, who ruled during a time of war and plague, yet maintained his composure through hardship. In essence, calmness in adversity is not just a Stoic virtue, but a powerful tool for navigating life's inevitable difficulties. It allows us to maintain control over our emotions and responses, creating an inner peace that is not easily disturbed by external chaos. By practicing this form of calm, we strengthen our ability to influence situations positively, simply by refusing to be swept away by the storm. Number 2. Non-reactive demeanor. A non-reactive demeanor is a key trait in Stoic philosophy, as it reflects emotional discipline and self-mastery. Stoics believe that by not reacting impulsively to external events, we maintain our inner equilibrium and avoid unnecessary stress. In today's fast-paced world, where people often react instantly to provocations or stressful situations, adopting a non-reactive stance can be profoundly impactful. Have you ever noticed how staying calm and composed in tense situations often disarms others or diffuses conflict? Psychologically, not reacting immediately gives us time to process and evaluate a situation more rationally. When we react without thinking, we are likely to let emotions cloud our judgment, often leading to regret later. Stoicism teaches us to pause and reflect before responding, focusing only on what we can control, our own actions and thoughts. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, urged people to be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over, emphasizing resilience in the face of provocation. This non-reactive attitude can also influence others without saying a word. When we remain calm and composed, people around us often feel more at ease and less defensive. For example, in a heated argument, if one person maintains a non-reactive demeanor, the tension usually subsides because the other party lacks an emotional response to fuel the conflict. By not engaging emotionally, you shift the dynamic and steer the situation toward resolution rather than escalation. Ultimately, maintaining a non-reactive demeanor is not about suppressing emotions, but about choosing when and how to express them in a way that serves the situation best. It's a quiet strength that, over time, becomes a powerful tool for managing both interpersonal relationships and life's inevitable ups and downs. Number 3. Showing kindness in small acts. In Stoic philosophy, acts of kindness, even small ones, have the power to create meaningful change in both our lives and the lives of others. The Stoics emphasized the importance of virtue and believed that kindness was a natural extension of living a virtuous life. Small acts of kindness, like offering help without expectation of reward or listening attentively to someone in need, reflect the Stoic ideal of focusing on how we can improve the lives of those around us. How often do we overlook the significance of these small gestures, thinking they make little impact? From a psychological standpoint, kindness has a ripple effect. Studies have shown that being kind not only benefits the recipient, but also enhances the well-being of the person being kind. Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, believe that humans are interconnected, and the more we help others, the more we strengthen the bonds of society. These small acts of kindness align with the Stoic understanding that we have control over our actions, and that we should use this control to foster goodwill. The quiet influence of kindness doesn't need grand gestures. For example, simply acknowledging someone's hard work or giving a sincere compliment can have a profound effect on their day. Epictetus once said, "Try to enjoy the great festival of life with other men," encouraging us to engage with the world in a compassionate and thoughtful manner. In doing so, we live out the Stoic values of virtue and humanity. In summary, kindness is a form of quiet strength in Stoic philosophy, and it influences without the need for loud proclamations or showy acts. By practicing small acts of kindness, we not only live virtuously but also create a positive, lasting impact on the world around us. Number 4. Silent endurance. Silent endurance, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, refers to the ability to endure hardships quietly and without complaint. This kind of strength doesn't rely on external validation or praise. It's a personal commitment to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. Imagine a person who, despite facing numerous setbacks like financial struggles or personal loss, chooses not to complain or seek sympathy, but instead continues moving forward with quiet determination. Stoicism teaches us that we don't need to announce our suffering to the world to prove our strength. In fact, enduring challenges silently can be a powerful expression of inner fortitude. Psychologically, silent endurance builds resilience. By choosing not to dwell on difficulties or vocalize every hardship, we train our minds to focus on solutions rather than problems. Complaining often amplifies the issue, making it feel larger than it actually is. But when we endure quietly, we conserve energy for action and progress. Have you ever noticed how some of the most resilient people are those who seem calm in the face of difficulty, quietly moving forward without seeking attention? Their strength lies not in words, but in their actions. Furthermore, silent endurance allows us to face suffering with dignity. Instead of letting hardships define us, Stoicism encourages us to view challenges as temporary. By enduring them in silence, we prevent these obstacles from taking control of our emotions. This doesn't mean suppressing our feelings or ignoring pain, it's about managing our response to it. Imagine a difficult situation where you could choose to endure quietly, focusing on what you can control rather than what you cannot. How might that change the way you experience hardship? In conclusion, silent endurance is a powerful tool in navigating life's challenges. It teaches us to face difficulties with quiet strength, focusing on action and progress rather than complaint. The next time you face adversity, ask yourself, could I handle this with silent endurance, trusting that my actions will speak louder than words? This Stoic practice not only builds resilience but also fosters a deeper sense of inner peace. Number 5. Accepting loss. Accepting loss is one of the most challenging but essential aspects of Stoicism. Life is full of impermanence. Relationships, possessions, and even health can be taken from us at any moment. Stoicism teaches us that by accepting loss as a natural part of life, we free ourselves from the suffering that comes from clinging too tightly to things that are beyond our control. For example, when someone close to us passes away, Stoicism doesn't suggest that we shouldn't feel sadness, but that we should recognize that loss is inevitable and focus on how we respond to it. Psychologically, accepting loss allows us to move through grief in a healthier way. When we resist or deny loss, it often prolongs our suffering. However, when we embrace the Stoic idea that everything is temporary, we can appreciate what we have while we have it and let go when the time comes. Have you ever held on to something, a person, a job, or a dream longer than was healthy, simply because you couldn't accept the loss? Stoicism encourages us to shift our perspective and understand that loss is not something to be feared, but something to be expected. This mindset of acceptance doesn't mean we should be indifferent to loss. Rather, it encourages us to live fully in the present, appreciating every moment, while understanding that everything is subject to change. Imagine the freedom that comes from fully accepting this reality. It allows us to experience life's joys without the constant fear of losing them. How would accepting loss change the way you live and interact with those around you? In conclusion, accepting loss as part of life helps us to navigate its inevitable challenges with grace and strength. By embracing this Stoic principle, we learn to let go without resentment or fear, and to appreciate what we have while we have it. The next time you face a loss, ask yourself, how can I honor this change with acceptance rather than resistance? This approach leads to deeper peace and a greater sense of resilience. Number 6. Facing fear bravely. Facing fear bravely is a key aspect of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism teaches us that fear is often rooted in our desire to control things that are outside our control. By confronting our fears head-on, we learn that many of the things we fear lose their power over us once we accept them. For example, public speaking is a common fear. But rather than avoiding it, Stoicism would suggest we embrace the opportunity as a way to grow stronger and more confident. By facing fear directly, we reduce its hold on us and develop greater courage. Psychologically, facing fear builds confidence and resilience. When we avoid fear, it often grows stronger, looming larger in our minds. However, when we confront it, we begin to see that fear is often an exaggerated response to uncertainty. Have you ever avoided something out of fear, only to later realize it wasn't as bad as you had imagined. Stoicism teaches us that fear is often more about perception than reality, and that by taking action in the face of fear, we reclaim control over our lives. In Stoicism, fear is seen as a natural part of life, but one that should not dictate our actions. The Stoic approach is to examine our fears rationally, asking ourselves what is truly at risk here. Is it my well-being, or is it simply my ego? In many cases, we fear failure, rejection, or embarrassment, things that don't pose real threats to our survival, but still have a powerful emotional hold over us. By challenging these fears, we liberate ourselves from their grip and gain a clearer sense of what truly matters. How might facing your fears help you grow in ways you hadn't anticipated? In conclusion, facing fear bravely is a vital Stoic practice that empowers us to live more fully and authentically. By confronting our fears rather than avoiding them, we develop greater inner strength and freedom. The next time you encounter a fear, ask yourself, what can I learn from facing this head-on? This mindset leads to a life of greater courage and resilience, allowing us to embrace challenges with confidence rather than fear. Number 7. Consistency in values. Consistency in values is a defining feature of Stoicism and reflects the quiet strength that Stoic philosophy champions. In a world where people often shift their beliefs to match external pressures, being consistent in what you stand for is a powerful demonstration of integrity. Stoicism teaches us to identify core values such as honesty, courage, and fairness, and to uphold these values consistently, no matter the situation. For example, consider someone who values honesty and chooses to speak the truth, even when it might be uncomfortable or unpopular. This kind of consistency builds trust and respect, as others recognize that this person is reliable and true to their principles. From a psychological perspective, living in alignment with our values promotes inner peace and reduces internal conflict. When we act inconsistently, perhaps by saying one thing and doing another, we experience cognitive dissonance, a mental state that creates stress and discomfort. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you acted against your values, only to feel uneasy about it afterward? Consistency in values prevents this internal turmoil and fosters a sense of self-respect. By holding firm to what we believe in, we not only build personal strength but also influence others through our actions. This kind of quiet, unwavering commitment to values can have a profound impact on those around us. Others might not immediately notice the depth of your consistency, but over time they will come to respect your strength of character. Stoicism teaches that the quiet adherence to values is more effective than loud proclamations. Actions speak louder than words, and in the long run, people are more influenced by those who live by their principles than by those who only talk about them. Can you think of someone in your life who quietly embodies their values, inspiring you without even trying? In conclusion, consistency in values is a hallmark of Stoic strength. By aligning our actions with our core beliefs and maintaining that consistency regardless of external circumstances, we cultivate both personal integrity and influence over others. The next time you're faced with a difficult decision, ask yourself, am I acting in alignment with my values? And how will this consistency shape who I am and how others see me? Number 8. Maintaining silence in conflict. Maintaining silence in conflict is one of the most powerful yet understated practices in Stoic philosophy. When faced with conflict, the natural response is often to defend oneself or retaliate verbally. However, Stoicism encourages us to pause and maintain silence, recognizing that words spoken in anger or frustration often do more harm than good. Silence allows us the time to reflect, to consider the situation with a calm mind, and to avoid escalating the conflict. Imagine a heated argument where one person responds with anger while the other remains silent and composed. The silent individual often appears stronger, more controlled, and less reactive, qualities that can de-escalate tension. Psychologically, Silence in conflict helps prevent emotional hijacking, where our emotions override our ability to think clearly. When we react immediately, we're often driven by anger, fear, or pride rather than logic and reason. By maintaining silence, we give ourselves the space to process emotions and respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Have you ever regretted something you said in the heat of the moment? Stoicism teaches that by holding back, we not only prevent ourselves from making mistakes but also maintain our inner peace. Moreover, silence in conflict is not a sign of weakness or avoidance. On the contrary, it shows discipline and strength. It takes great self-control to resist the urge to defend or attack, especially when our ego feels threatened. Over time, this Stoic practice of silence helps us become more resilient in the face of criticism or conflict. It's a quiet strength that influences others, as people are often disarmed by someone who doesn't react as expected. Can you recall a situation where silence would have been more effective than words? How might practicing silence in your next conflict change the outcome? In conclusion, maintaining silence in conflict is a profound Stoic practice that enables us to rise above emotional reactions and handle challenges with calm and wisdom. The next time you find yourself in a conflict, ask yourself, what would silence offer in this moment, and how could it lead to a better resolution? By embracing this approach, we develop a deeper sense of inner strength and self-mastery. I hope these Stoic teachings are useful and effective for you. My goal is to make your life better and more enjoyable. I will accompany you in this interesting and meaningful magazine.